Hi everyone, welcome to the InstaClass by Amity Online. This is Shaivee Narula, a psychotherapist from the Mood Space. I hope all of you are keeping well and keeping safe wherever you're staying. And I'm here to talk about self care in the times of COVID. So let's just understand what COVID has done. I mean, all of us have been, impacted by COVID since the last year. And initially, the transition went from working from office to working from home in the lockdowns, the unlocks, and whatnot. And right now, as we are transitioning from work from home towards working from office again, things are gradually opening up, and we're still, transitioning again into another new normal here. So, in all of these times, we sort of forget to take care of ourselves. We sort of forget how it's important for us to even be, mindful and be aware of what is it that we and our body need. So, when we talk about self care, it's not just about taking care of yourself or not having any disease. It's much more than that. So, when we talk about self care, it's more about, promoting well being, promoting a good quality of life, working on yourself to be able to, reach a point where you feel not just okay, but healthy and well. So self care, a lot of you might have heard about self care being just, talking about your skin or taking a nap or having, a good meal, ordering outside, ordering takeout. But do you really think that, self care that is just self care? Do you think that self care is all about that? I think there's a lot more to self care than that. So if we talk about the different aspects, we have, physical, emotional, mental, even spiritual self-care if we talk about that. So, as we transition from going out and gradually things opening up, in the times of COVID, wearing a mask when we go outside, taking our vaccination shot, taking all the precautions, using sanitizers and keep, social distancing is also part of self-care where you're consciously taking the decision of taking better care of yourself. And this is something I think which is very important in the times today. Apart from that, there have been a lot of things coming up because of COVID, whether it's the unpleasant feelings, whether it's the different scenarios or different situations that we're a part of. It becomes really difficult to deal with these every day in day out. So I'm just here to tell you some of the things that we can do to keep our physical, emotional, mental, and even spiritual self-care in check and work towards our well-being. So, when it comes to physical health or physical self care, we can be very mindful of our sleeping time, like have a proper schedule, wake up on time, sleep at a regular time every day, so that our sleep cycle or our biological clock gets in tune with how we work during the day. And more than that, having a good diet, which includes the nutrients or which includes the things that our body needs. And it can be different for different people. Like some people might need calcium more than they need protein, some people might need minerals or water more than they need other nutrients. So just be seek professional help, check with your doctor, see what your body needs, look for the signs. Other than that, when we move on to emotional well-being or emotional self-care, being aware of how we are in the present moment, being more in tune with our bodies and our minds at the same time. A lot of times we find ourselves, either dwelling in the past or thinking about the future, but we forget to be mindful and in the present moment. So I would really urge all of you to just take some time out for yourself and focus on the way you're feeling in the moment. Check with yourself. Ask yourself, how is it that I'm feeling right now? What is it that's making me feel good? What is it that's making me feel okay? And what is it that's making me feel upset or sad? And that way being more aware, increasing our self-awareness, being more mindful in the situation really helps on being in touch with our feelings and sort of trying to understand what is it that we can do more to keep ourselves more emotionally healthy or calm and happy. And with this, with the emotional self-care, some points to talk about your mental health care or mental self-care that we can talk about is being mindful, being aware of your triggers, being aware of your stressors in everyday life. Like for example, there can be things which induce anger response in you or which induce stress response in you. So journaling, sort of keeping a note of these triggers and trying to understand where are they resonating or where are they rising from, so that when the situation arises again in the future, you are better equipped to deal with them in a more healthy way. With all of these, little strategies of taking care of yourself, making a good sleep and diet schedule, having breakfast, having your meals on time, having frequent breaks when it comes to work and life balance, having frequent breaks wherein you can understand what your body needs. Does it need like a 2-hour break or a 15-minute break or just a 30-minute power nap? So you know your body better, you know what keeps you going, you know what keeps you healthy. So self care is not just about skincare, although skincare definitely becomes a big part of it. Where you take Sundays off, Sunday nights, where you indulge in your skincare routine or in your self care routine. And everyone's self care routine can be different. What works for you might not work for another one, and what works for your friends might not work that well for you. So having an open mind, trying out new things that are interesting for you, whether it's making a new music playlist or playing an audiobook or reading books or even playing like games on a Saturday night or a Friday night. So trying to understand what these different activities, what these different practices are for you, and sort of engaging in them more mindfully, more intentionally, and with more presence in the present moment, in the here and now. So rather than delving into the past or thinking about the future, no matter how much ever uncertain the situation is, we know for sure right now. But having accepted that, accepting the reality, transitioning into the new normal, we can spend some time on ourselves to, just take care of ourselves towards making sure that we give ourselves the self care that our body needs, that our mind needs. So that way, all of these physical, emotional, mental, and even spiritual self care sort of overlap and they work towards your improved quality of life. So I hope all of you, you know, make it a point to be more aware, to reach out for even professional help, professional services, whether it's doctor, whether it's a therapist, whether it's a nutritionist, a dietitian, even for a workout, a gym trainer, whoever you need. Reach out for help when you need and reach out for help when you want to, so that you can work on yourselves in a better way and work towards a more healthy quality of life. And I think if we have some questions here. So the question is how to put focus away from negative thoughts to reach a stage of self-awareness. So whenever we catch ourselves, being in a cycle of negative thoughts, there are a lot of questions coming up, like what if this happens, what if this happens, what if this happens. So it's important for us to be mindful in the present moment and catch ourselves falling into this spiral, and sort of countering these statements or these thoughts with a rational counter statement, trying to tell ourselves that how these thoughts can be rationalized, can be looked at from a logical and rational point of view, and how we can proceed forward. Because more often than not, we just leave ourselves in questioning what is going to happen, what will happen, what will happen, without understanding that it's important for us to get the answers for them too. So once we know the answers to them, once we know that, okay, this is how this is, and even if this sounds negative at the moment, but this is what I can do right now, I cannot do more than this. More than this is not under my control. So accepting that fact and trying to understand what is it that I can do more to proceed further can help us achieve or level up to a more increased self-awareness where we know ourselves better. And let's see if we have any more questions. So as we were speaking about self-care today, I hope you all will try to incorporate one or two of these things that might work for you, and try to understand what your body needs right now. Being mindful, being intentional in everything that you do, spending your time intentionally, and also being intuitive in terms of everyday tasks. So the more you are in tune with your senses, in tune with your body, in tune with your mind, the better it helps you to take care of yourself and become more aware and take the steps that are required for your well-being. And with that, I think that'll be all from my end. I hope this was helpful for you. Take care.